Listen to this young lady's story. Parents that push their daughters out before they are financially ready, before their footing is set. This is what causes some women to take out loans, to have to get credit card debt. This is what happens. This is also the reason why some end up in terrible situations, as far as terrible relationships or bad roommate situations, or just struggling because parents that push them out too quickly. Now, I do understand not keeping your kids at home forever. But while they are still, barely out of high school, still trying to get their footing as far as their career goes, still trying to build up their money, why push them out if they're being productive and contributing to the household? I do not understand. This is also why some people, why some adult children are going no contact. Because if you didn't support your children and you just kicked them out, they're going to remember that, especially in their adult years when they're still trying to recuperate, still trying to get themselves together. They're going to remember that you pushed them out when they were still trying to get their footing. So as more people talk about going no contact and going minimum contact and just, talking about their parents were toxic, this is another reason why some people that finger wag at folks need to simmer it down, because just listening to this woman, listen to this young lady, you understand the trepidation in her voice in dealing with parents like this. And so just watch her. I've kind of given my 2 cents on the front end, so I'm not coming in on the back end. But watch this and understand why some adult children do what they do when their parents get old and might need them.
I need to move out so bad it's ridiculous at this point. So I'm currently at work and I have a group chat with me, my mother, and my stepdad. So not gonna lie, I have muted that group chat not because I don't respond to it, but literally seeing the messages from the notifications from that group chat stresses me the fuck out. So I'll still look at the thread or whatever, but I won't I need it muted. And so I'm at work right now and I happen to be, going through my phone like when I was on my little, like I finished some stuff or whatever, and I see some text messages in the chat. So I'm going to look. I want to clarify that the point of this chat is, so basically there used to be a lot of yelling in the house, not for me because I'm not allowed to have opinion or say what I actually feel, even though they claim that I can, but I actually can't. But it's basically, so instead of yelling, whatever would be said is said through text. It don't really work as much as they claim it does, but whatever. Anyway, let me show you the text messages I got while I was at work. I'm gonna just put myself over here, but let me read it. Kennedy, and this is my stepdad. Kennedy, in light of recent events, your mother and I feel like we are not providing you with enough incentives to look for more work. Therefore, on Friday, November 24th, we are going to cut off your access to the house Wi-Fi and streaming services. Also, within the next few weeks, we're going to transition the room you are currently in back to Dominic, my 2-year-old brother. You can still use the dresser and keep the minimal stuff in that room, but most of the stuff needs to go to storage. In particular, the corner with the rocking chair, this is like a nursery bedroom, and the window need to be empty as some of Dominic's toys are going to be moved there. The closet should also be mostly empty of your stuff. And then I can't read it completely because the little thing's blocking it, but basically I have to go sleep in the office and not allowed to sleep in the room anymore. To clarify an incentive, my stepdad said in a therapy session a while back, like 3 months ago, the first one we had in like years or whatever, that I need to be working close to 60 hours a week. So I have my current job, PetSmart. I'm switching out my second job to a new one to get more hours, and then I have to get a third overnight job, which I don't need to have frequently, but basically to cut up that little amount of extra hours to get to 60. So I am currently just did an interview for a third job, for the overnight job, and then I just finished the last part of a video interview for the second job. I have told both of them these things. So I guess I'm not moving fast enough because now they're claiming by next week Friday they're gonna cut off my Wi-Fi and streaming services, which is crazy because I usually do my own streaming services. I'm more upset about the Wi-Fi. How am I supposed to do things, including working and other things, if I don't have Wi-Fi? Also, in terms of the office, so our office, it has a door, but it is a glass door. And there was a point last year where they had me sleeping in this room and I had an air mattress, whatever. And they basically told me, my mom told me, oh, we're gonna have you do that again. That was like not right to do, whatever. And I'm just like, this is so unnecessary. And I even asked my friends and some family members, am I bugging? Like, am I really like not seeing something here? So I think I said this in my last update I did, but in the therapy session that I ended up doing with my parents, it was over Zoom. They said they're giving me until my 21st birthday, which is July, to move out. They don't know about this plan whatsoever for me to move out early. I also just want to defend my therapist a bit. She originally thought that I had agreed to the session. That's why when my parents made it, she was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, whatever. So she was not pressuring me to do this session at all. She had my back the entire time during the session when we were having it. Her and I were texting during it. And she doesn't tell my mom anything that I don't give her permission to tell her. So I just want to clarify that my therapist is not like a bad person. But she basically told me, and her and I have another session tomorrow. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. We have another session tomorrow, and she basically told me in a little checkup, don't tell your parents what your plan is, but tell them you do have a plan. Because my parents think I don't have a plan whatsoever to move out. And my therapist told me, okay, at least let them know you have a plan. That way they can get off your back a bit. So I'm going to text them that tomorrow. But I'm just like, what? Like, they're acting like I'm not trying to move out. They know I don't want to be there. Like, my mom has literally told me, she told me, as much as we sometimes don't want you here, I understand you want to be here even less. And before, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go minimal contact. I'm literally going no contact at this point, with the exception, because I can text my sister and maintain a relationship with her, and then my brother, okay, like, that's fine. I can't do this anymore. I need to move out. The person who said this comment, nothing, like, they didn't do anything wrong. I just wanted to use their comment to kind of clarify a few things. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been saying the sweet words, giving all the advice, everything. I genuinely appreciate it so much, and it's so reassuring to see like I'm actually not crazy. But I just wanted to clarify on a few things, like a lot of common questions I've been seeing, and I thought this would be the best way to do it. A question I've been seeing a lot is, why are you not at college? So I actually am a college student. I'm supposed to be a junior, and I actually go to Penn State, but let me explain why I'm currently not there. So after my freshman year of college, I actually got academically suspended, and understandably, my parents were very angry at me because my stepdad did pay for my first semester out of pocket and then co-signed for my loan for my second one. And I didn't tell them until the very end because I was very scared to tell them. Fast forward, so I wasn't able to go back to school in fall of what would have been my sophomore year. And at that point, this was last year, 2022, I was so depressed. I was so unhappy. The thing I showed you guys of like sleeping in the office, that was the first time I actually did have to sleep in the office. It was like for 2 weeks. And originally, when it comes to going back my sophomore year, so fall of 2022, my stepdad was like, okay, if you do this and that, then I'll co-sign again despite you getting academically suspended when you go back in the spring of 2022, so earlier this year. A lot of things happen, a lot of arguments, whatever. Not like me arguing, like yelling back, but basically them getting mad a lot. So more him getting mad. So he said he wasn't going to co-sign, but I was so desperate to get back to school. One, to escape, and two, because I wanted to continue on with my life, that I was looking for ways to get back without the help of a loan from them. Now, financial aid in my school was very, very helpful and whatnot, but there's only so much they could do. But I found out, like, okay, they told me you could pay for your tuition late at the end of the 2022 school year, and there'll be a little bit of late fees, but whatever. And I also found out from banks, like, okay, you could take out a loan by that point, because even though your credit score is good, you don't have long enough credit history. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll just go back to school and pay it off late. Also, just to clarify so everyone's on track, this was for the spring semester, which was earlier this year. So from January of 2023 this year to May of 2023. So that's when I went back to school. I went home for spring break in March because I had nowhere else to go, and things, of course, when I'm not home were much better, where they missed me or whatever. And my mom told me, like, listen, if you do well, this is my first time being back at school since getting suspended. If you do well, your stepdad is okay with you co-signing on your loans again. So I was like, okay, I'd rather do it by myself so I can really start cutting connections and ties or whatever, but that's a good backup plan in case I'm not able to get the loan. Newsflash, I was not able to. And even though I did do well with my grades, he still did not co-sign on the loan. So the reason why I'm not currently back at school as of like fall semester happening right now is I have to pay off this semester that I just did before I'm able to schedule classes and continue. So that's why I'm not currently in college, but I am going to go back. Now for people telling me like, oh, try to get an apartment, this, that, and the other. So here's what the plan is. So I have a friend who needs someone to take over her lease for the spring semester of 2024, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm in the process of getting the apartment and whatever, and it's really sweet of her and her parents to help me out with this. So I am going to be out by the latest January of next year. My parents do not know this. I originally wanted to move out at the end of December, but I was like, you know what? As much as I hate being here, let me give myself an extra month, stock up on my money more, do what I have to do. Because as badly as I want to leave, I don't want to put myself in a scenario where I fuck myself over when I get there, you know? Now, for the people who were asking, okay, why don't you go stay with someone? All of my friends are at college who want to help me. Like, all of them are in Pennsylvania pretty much, and I'm not in Pennsylvania, I'm in New Jersey. And then in terms of family members, I don't have family members in this area that can help me, which is fine because I honestly don't want to be a burden to anyone anyways. So I am going to leave, guys. I am going to leave. I am going to leave the latest, the end of January, and then I'm not coming back. And then I'm trying to think what else people were asking me. And then for the people, who were saying like, oh, you should start a GoFundMe, I would gladly support you. I really do appreciate that. I do, but I feel like there are so many other people who need more help than I do. Like, as sucky as my home situation is, I am being fed. I do have a room as of right now I sleep in. Like, I appreciate it, but there are people who need it more than me. Trying to think of anything else. I can make a separate video on my home situation regarding my mom and my stepdad because I kind of want to dive into that a little deeper to answer some questions, but I just wanted to answer some of the commonly questions that I was getting asked. I really do appreciate everyone's kind words, so thank you so much. I have to get ready to go to work at 4:30 and it's currently 3:52, but yes, I just wanted to clarify some questions.